Right, welcome everybody. It's 11:30. This is Kate Lambert Lee with MWR Battle Creek, and welcome to All Things Disney. And we have our very own expert, Stephen Gales, and he will share information and allow a little bit of question and answer. Um, but I want to tell you, if you haven't joined us before or haven't met Stephen, um, he's the business manager for DLA's MWR office in Battle Creek and has been for the past 13 years. He's been with DLA over 21 years, 20 of those with MWR. He's worked in leisure travel for the past 15 and is a certified cruise counselor, and that's for 13 years. Stephen won DLA's MWR Facility and Program Excellent Award in 2015. And in 2022, DLA's FMWR Excellent Award for Program Management. And also in 2022, the Battle Creek Leisure Travel Office had over 1.257 million in sales. So Stephen has a BA in Tourism and Travel from Western Michigan University, and we really just want to share about all about Disney. So uh, welcome, Stephen.
All right, thanks, Kate, and welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us for the All Things Disney presentation that I'll be doing today. And hopefully we'll get some good information out there to you guys. And if you have any questions at any time, always feel free to send me an email or give me a phone call, and I'll be happy to assist you with what I know. And if I don't know it, I'll definitely try to find it for you. So. This presentation is going to be a brief overview of all things Disney. So it's going to include a lot of information about Walt Disney World, Disneyland. We'll have some information for there as well. Disney's cruise line, the Aulani Resort in Hawaii, as well as Adventures by Disney. Please note that there is no endorsement by the government or MWR that is implied by having this presentation. All right, so I already went over those locations that we're going to be seeing and talking about here. And currently through March 31st of this year, Disney is still celebrating its 50th anniversary at Walt Disney World location. It started October 1st of 2021, but Disney likes to do things grand, and they keep things like this around for a while just to give a lot of people the opportunity to celebrate with them. And obviously with the pandemic and things like that, some things have been not everybody's been able to travel. So they want to give people plenty of time to enjoy that location and celebrate with them for their 50th anniversary. We're going to start today with theme parks at Walt Disney World. And the first and main park that most people call Disney World is Magic Kingdom. And this is the castle, Cinderella's castle, right at the center of the park, and is iconic image of Walt Disney World. Some of the features of the attractions at Magic Kingdom include the Main Street USA, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, Space Mountain, the Haunted Mansion. It's a Small World, definitely an older, more popular ride. Pirates of the Caribbean, Mad Tea Party, the Hall of Presidents is located in Magic Kingdom, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and Country Bear Jamboree, Liberty Square Riverboat, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. So these are all rides and attractions that are located right inside the Magic Kingdom Park. Our next park that Disney developed at the Walt Disney World location was Epcot. Many of you may notice the large spherical, I call it usually, I tell people it's a golf ball. Looks like a golf ball, and they usually know what I'm talking about when I mention that. This park was opened in the 70s and was their second park to be open at Walt Disney World Resort. Idea behind Epcot was the future, and so a lot of the theming and different rides and stuff there is it definitely talks about the future, what they expected to see in the future. So popular attractions at Epcot include Spaceship Earth, Test Track, which is a fun like car. You sit in a car and it basically treats you like you can create a car before you get in it with your group, and then the test track will run you through based on like the different features that you had chose for your car, and see if you can beat the other car in a race. So it's kind of a fun little attraction there. The Seas with Nemo and Friends, Soaring Around the World. That's one of the most popular attractions. Is the Soarin' ride, and has lots of cool 3D, actually 4D features. So definitely a must see. World Showcase, which is featured at the back of the park and shows the different countries of the world. Frozen Ever After ride is featured here. Mission Space. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is one of the newest attractions at Epcot. Disney and the Beast Sing Along. Disney and the Beast Sing Along is located here, as well as Living with the Land. That's kind of a cool agricultural type, basically like a boat ride that you ride through, and they show you how they technologically like do agriculture. So they have some really cool ideas and things that they've done to get certain vegetables or fruits to grow in unique ways. So kind of a cool ride to see, very educational. The third park at Walt Disney World Resort is Disney's Hollywood Studios. This park has gone over the probably some of the most transformation lately. Epcot has done some as well and is still under a lot of transformation, but in terms of completed wise, Hollywood Studios probably has some of the most updated stuff. They have Toy Story Land in the last like 5-6 years, and also the area of Star Wars, which you'll see here. So the Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, Star Wars, Rise of the Resistance is all located here. So that section of the park has become very popular as it opened right at the beginning, right before the pandemic. And so not a lot of people had a chance to see it. So that's still a popular destination, and it's probably the second most popular resort, park when it comes to trying to get your reservations. So definitely, if you are trying to see the Star Wars stuff, make sure you get that reservation made. Some of the other attractions here are Fantasmic, which is their show in the evening. It's kind of like a parade of boats and stuff that they have a outdoor seating area that you can see the whole show. So it's a really cool, lots of fireworks and lights and stuff. So definitely a popular feature that just came back to that park since COVID. Like I said, Toy Story Land is featured here. Definitely kid-friendly area of the park. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, Toy Story Mania, the ride is there. Rock and Roller Coaster, which is one of my favorite roller coasters, probably my favorite at Disney overall. And the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. They are going to be retheming that. I think that's still in the works. So yeah, that I believe it's now going to be the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what they've turned it into at the California park. So, and then Muppet Vision 3D as well is located here. And then the fourth park at Disney World Resort is Animal Kingdom. Iconic image there, the large tree of life. and it has some really cool features, lots of lights. It's definitely one to see at night. Just a really cool feature of that park. And the popular attractions here are Pandora, the world of Avatar. So with the new movie out right now, that's going to be a popular place to visit. And the attraction there is Avatar Flight of Passage. And they also have the Navi River Journey. Those are both featured in that section of the Pandora world of Avatar. The Kilimanjaro Safaris is probably one of the most popular rides in this park. You actually do get to ride a safari truck, and it takes you through their part of the park that has all of their animals. Obviously, they're all kind of broken into sections, and has just a up close and personal look at many of the animals that you would see on a safari. Obviously, I mentioned the Tree of Life. Finding Nemo, the musical, is located here. That has just returned since the pandemic as well. That's a newer feature. I'll talk about that later. Cali River Rapids, Dinosaur, the ride is here, and as well as It's Tough to Be a Bug. So lots of cool features at this park. It is very much a zoo kind of mixed with a theme park. So you will see animals throughout the park, and lots of fun, cool features there. All right, so some of the special events that happen at Walt Disney World throughout the year. There's lots of them. List really could be a lot longer than this, but I'm just kind of touching on some of the major featured events. So Epcot International Festival of Arts runs in the January-February timeframe. That is going on right now. The Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival runs from March through July. And Epcot International Food and Wine Festival, which is very popular, takes place in late summer and into the fall. The Food and Wine Festival, basically because of the World Showcase, is a perfect location to have different types of cuisines from the different countries. And so that's why it's a popular destination. If you're a foodie, definitely check out the Food and Wine Festival. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween runs during the months of September into October. Sometimes it goes into November as well, just depending on how that falls with what day of the week that Halloween falls on. Sometimes they do run that over a few days. Holidays at Walt Disney World is in November and December, so they turn all of the parks into Christmas Wonderland. Definitely featured, heavily featured at the Magic Kingdom Park, where they also have a special days for another Mickey. It's kind of like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween, but it's just Christmas related, holiday related. So that happens in November, December, and it is a special ticket that you do have to purchase as well. Mickey's Not So Scary is also a special ticket. Our military offices are unable to sell that ticket. They do usually have a limited amount of discount tickets for those events at the gate the day of, but I do not recommend wait to get those tickets because they sell out very quickly, and even in advance those events do sell out in advance. So definitely, if you're going to do it, I would just recommend going onto Disney's website and getting those tickets purchased. ESPN Wide World of Sports has a lot of different events, signature events. So they have soccer tournaments and softball, baseball tournaments, all kinds of different activities. Gymnastics has different things there. So all kinds of different sports and events for families they have tournaments and stuff down there. So those are popular events, usually for those that are in the sports world. And then there's various races, 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, and full marathons at Disney. And I do recommend going to rundisney.com. This is a website that I actually recently just learned about. So Disney does have a lot of racing events So a lot of times you think you might be going on an off-season time to Disney, but if they're having a race that weekend, there's a good chance that there's not availability, because those are very popular events as well. So definitely check out rundisney.com to see when their events are going on, and that might help you plan the timing for your vacation, because you might want to avoid those weekends. They do get pretty busy. Uh, so going on here to some recent additions to the different parks and different resorts that are in the Walt Disney World Resort. So Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Resort opened on March 1st of 2022. That is a very popular Star Wars themed resort. You can only stay there for 2 nights, but it's an exclusive experience. So if you do want to book that, we expected a waiting list for that for a couple of years, but there are dates that are open and available. So if you do want to stay in that Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Resort experience, definitely reach out to me and I will see what we have for availability and get you booked in that if possible. Disney Adventure Friends Cavalcade. It has reopened at Magic Kingdom. It's one of their like parades. Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair at Magic Kingdom, opening in February. Again, another one of their parades. The Festival of Fantasy Parade at Magic Kingdom is opening in March. So as you can see, parades are quite popular in their parks, and a lot of them are just during COVID, a lot of that stuff kind of shut down because they didn't want a lot of interaction with and causing large groups and crowds. So as things have gotten more lax with the COVID policies, they are bringing back some of those features in the parks. Connections Cafe and Eatery at Epcot is opening in April, or sorry, opened in April. All of these things opened in this past year in 2022. And then the new Epcot entrance construction is completed there finally. So you will see some new features. If you haven't been to that park in a couple of years, you'll see some new features at the entrance to Epcot. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind opened in May, and that is also at Epcot. Finding Nemo, as I mentioned, the Big Blue and Beyond is the name of the show, and that opened in May at Animal Kingdom. The Hoop-Dee-Doo Review Dinner Show is back, another popular show, dinner show at Fort Wilderness Resort that opened in June. Phantasmic Hollywood Studios opened in November, so that's a picture of Mickey there in his fireworks as part of that show, and that's a popular like show that I mentioned earlier. DuckTales World Showcase Adventure at Epcot opened in December. And then just breaking news, actually a week ago, there are no parking fees at Disney resorts for hotel guests if you're doing self-parking. So basically meaning if you're not going to do valet, which most people don't, but if you don't want to do valet, you can park for free now. There was parking fees for all of the resorts based on the category you were in, had different prices, but that has gone away. So we have no parking fees at Disney resorts now. And new and returning in 2023, we have Splash Mountain that will be closing January 23rd of this year. It is going to become Tiana's Bayou Adventure in 2024. So if you are going to Disney here soon in the next week or so, Splash Mountain will be closing as it's known as Splash Mountain. So definitely check that out quickly. If not, you'll be having to wait to see what the new creation is in 2024. Journey of Water, inspired by Moana, and it's an interactive experience at Epcot. That is planning to be opened in late 2023. The Roundup Rodeo Barbecue is coming to Toy Story Land in Disney's Hollywood Studios in spring of 2023. New Nighttime Spectacular for Epcot will replace Harmonious in late 2023. So during COVID, they came out with a new show, Harmonious, which is their nighttime fireworks show. So that will be replacing with a new show here later this year. They do change those up every few years just to give something new and different look for guests, because a lot of guests are repeat guests, so they just want to make things new and fresh every once in a while. Tron Light Cycle Run will open in Tomorrowland on April 4th of this year. So that'll be a new roller coaster attraction that if you like roller coasters, definitely check that out. It's got some cool new features and technology to it. So definitely one to check out at Tomorrowland, which is in the Magic Kingdom Park. The Hatbox Ghost will be added to the Haunted Mansion ride later in 2023. And Disney's Boardwalk is undergoing an extensive refurbishment this year. So there's lots of new features and different things that'll be happening at Disney's Boardwalk Resort, which is a deluxe property in 2023. I didn't mention this, but if at any point anybody has questions, feel free to, I think there's a chat option. I don't mind if, I don't know if Kate, everybody can open up their mics or not, but if so, just raise your hand and we'll let you ask the question if you have any throughout the presentation. Some announced projects that are coming up with no known dates of when they're going to actually happen. They've been working on the new Play Pavilion interactive experience at Epcot for a while. They've announced that, but nothing has been released about when that will be officially opening and construction taking place. Dreamers Point at Epcot, it's just a feature of Walt Disney World and what his vision was for Epcot, and it's just a section, small kind of park area that they're going to be opening up at Epcot. And Disney's Polynesian Village has a new hotel tower for Disney Vacation Club members that's being worked on and built, but the date has not been announced yet for when that will be opening. All right, so now we're going to go on to some new features. I featured this as a new thing for 2022, but I'm also going to mention it in 2023 because it is still pretty new for a lot of people and it's still kind of confusing. I definitely recommend going to Disney's website, looking up Genie Plus, watching the tutorials and videos. There's a lot of YouTube videos where people explain what it is. But Genie Plus and Lightning Lane access is a new feature that you have to purchase both at Walt Disney World and Disneyland through their app the day that you're going to be going. Disneyland does have the feature to be added on, can be added on their tickets in advance. So you can purchase that through our offices in advance, but Disney World does not have that feature anymore. We did have it for a while, but then they just took it away. It was, I think, too complicated and offered too many ticket options. I believe they were probably having issues with, how many people were purchasing the Genie Plus. So and so they did remove that as from a ticket option, but you can purchase it each day that you're in the park. So the Genie service is basically a service that allows you to plan your day throughout the park. So if you tell Genie service that you want to go to Magic Kingdom and you want to go to certain rides, you can schedule your day throughout that park the most efficient way. The Genie Plus option basically allows you to add Lightning Lane access to specific rides. And that allows you to skip the line on those rides. You can schedule one at a time, and then as you use one, you can reschedule a new one. So they also have some premium rides, like I mentioned, Soarin', the Avatar rides, I believe, some of the at Hollywood Studios, the Star Wars attractions, many of them have individual lightning lanes that cost additional, that are not part of the Genie Plus lightning lanes. So you do have to purchase those separately. Those become available the morning of. At 7 a.m. is when you can start purchasing them for resort guests, and then other guests can start purchasing when the park opens. I do have some information sheets for Disneyland and for you Disney World to compare their Lightning Lane accesses and their Genie Plus services. So you can always stop down to my office and I can, try to talk you through it if you have questions or want more information about it. But the Genie Plus service at Disneyland does allow you to do the virtual queues and at attractions, mobile ordering, get restaurant wait lists and stuff like that. So like I said, that Genie service is free, but the Genie Plus option gives you the audio tales, the Disney Photo Pass downloads from the day, and Lightning Lane access. There's more than 15 experiences at Disneyland that it includes. At Disney World, there's more than that. And then, like I said, the individual Lightning Lane access costs additional. So the complimentary services are listed here for each of the attractions, what you receive. So I did notice recently, I just saw an announcement that Disney World and Disneyland will be offering, so Disney World will be offering the Photo Pass at the actual photo. So whenever you ride a ride, Disney has a service called Memory Maker that allows you to get your pictures with characters throughout all of the parks throughout your stay, as well as your rides. When you ride the rides, they will have videos and photos there. They actually just announced that if you buy the Genie Plus service, you will also be getting the Photo Pass for your rides that you ride. So if they take a picture of you on a roller coaster, you will have access to those if you have purchased the Genie Plus service. So that is a new announcement that has just been released. So that's new, and that these graphics have not been updated yet. So I believe that was just announced a week ago. So this is, again, just some comparisons between Disneyland and Disney World, like what is offered and not with the Genie Plus service. Again, there's a lot of information here. Disneyland's price is actually going up to $25 per day recently. So, and I believe they're also going to a variable cost. So as it sells, it could get more expensive. So again, some of this information has changed recently, but I don't have the new graphics for that. But just one of those things that's always kind of changing. So just reach out to me. I'll try to help you get all of the current and most recent information that I can get you whenever you inquire about those services. All right, so just some things about knowing before you go. We always send this out to our patrons that purchase tickets or have questions about tickets. Currently, there are no major COVID related restrictions or policies in place for Walt Disney World, but they just want you to know that they do have hand washing facilities and hand sanitizer dispensers throughout the parks. Face coverings are optional for guests currently. So basically just letting you know that they're still there to make sure that you're healthy and safe, but there's not any major restrictions right now for that, for COVID. They still have the park reservation system in place. So that is basically you purchase your tickets. Once you purchase your tickets, there's codes on the back of the tickets that you can use to make your reservations for the parks. You do have to plan out what days you're going to go to the parks now. And I do recommend doing that at least a month in advance. If you're going during a busy time, such as spring break or Christmas, I definitely recommend even doing further out than a month, because some of those parks may quickly become not available. Usually Magic Kingdom fills up first, and then, like I said, Hollywood Studios is usually the second one to fill up. So at least 1 month beforehand is when I do recommend getting your tickets purchased, to get those reservations put in place. They have different calendars that show different availability based on what type of tickets you do purchase. So for theme park tickets, if you're a resort guest or if you have an annual pass holder, they have different calendars that show different availabilities for the park. So make sure that when whatever type of ticket that you're going to be using or whatever status you are, you make sure you choose that option for whenever you are making your reservations. But the majority of people are going to fall under the theme park tickets category. And then this is what it looks like when you go to look and see what availability there are. So the calendar shows, I just actually updated this morning to give you guys a current view of what it would look like. And right now everything is green. That means if you showed up at Magic Kingdom today, you can still get into the park because right now all parks are green. So that means that there's not a lot of people at the park right now, basically. So if the box was yellow, it would tell you down below. It would put, I believe, a red X, if I remember correctly, next to the park that is not available. So if let's say the 19th was yellow, that means, Magic Kingdom may have an X by it, or possibly Epcot could have an X by it. And that just shows that that park is not available that day, but the other ones that have a green check are still available. If it's a gray spot on the calendar, that means all parks are completely full. I've only seen that really over the Christmas holiday, and then occasionally it'll happen during like spring break time frame. And for this year, that's April 2nd through the 15th, which is the week before and after Easter for Florida. And that's why they have blackout dates for their tickets, which we'll see here coming up. Park reservations for Disneyland is the same. They have only 2 options though. You can get a 1 park per day ticket guests or park hopper option. And I do have customers that purchase tickets over the holidays for Disneyland, and it definitely had a different availability and for just a 1 park per day ticket and a hot park hopper ticket. See, we have a chat that looks like it came through. Is the park reservation site updated daily? It is a live calendar, to my knowledge. There's times I've gone on there to look for a customer, and an hour later, something was gone. So I believe as people book, it literally, once it hits that threshold, it'll, if the park is full, it'll immediately update the calendar. So yes, I do believe it is a live look at what the attendance is for the parks. Thanks for that question, Cynthia. All right, and so as you can see here for Disneyland, it looks a little different. The little green dot is for the California's Adventure Park, and then the purple or the pink castle is for the Disneyland park. So as you can see, today, if you're a park hopper ticket holder, you can go to both parks, but tomorrow you would not be able to go to Disneyland. It is full. As you can see on the 28th, there, the California Adventure Park is full. So if you do want to go to that park, more than likely, there's usually more availability for park hopper guests. So if you have just a 1 park per day ticket, you may want to upgrade to a hopper ticket, and then it might open availability for you to be able to go to that park. So that's something that you can always do, is try to upgrade your ticket as well. All right. So Disney's mobile apps have lots of information. So this is a nice tool for you to be able to get information about the park hours, what the ride times are. You can also do all of your reservations and link your tickets. through the app as well. You can also do dining reservations, all kinds of stuff is available through the app. So if you are looking at going to the parks, this is a must. You're going to want this. You can also use the app as a ticket, and you'll see that feature here coming up as well. All right, so I'm going to move on to Walt Disney World Resorts. Currently, as you can see, there's 12 deluxe villas, there's 8 deluxe resort hotels, there's 4 moderate resorts, and 5 value resort hotels as well. There's 2 campgrounds. There's 1 campground, but they have cabins at the Fort Wilderness campground as well, which it actually equates to more of a moderate level resort because those cabins do sleep 6 people, have bunk beds in them, and like a little kitchenette and stuff. So, but it equates to a more moderate level pricing category for the Fort Wilderness cabins. And then Disney Springs has 8 hotels. So there are other hotels on site. And not all of those are actually run by Disney. They just are on Disney property and have affiliation usually with other hotel chains. For tickets, there are currently 4 types of tickets available at Disney World that are available through our ticket office. We don't sell annual passes anymore, so our ticket types will come with either a base ticket, which is 1 park per day, or with a park hopper option, which gives you multiple parks per day. Since COVID, they have only allowed people to hop after 2 p.m. So if you have a hop, like a 2-day park hopper on your first day, if you go to Magic Kingdom, and then let's say in the afternoon you want to go over to Hollywood Studios so that you could see the Phantasmic display that evening, you can hop over after 2 p.m. In the park. And you do not have to make reservations for the second park that you're hopping to. I have not heard of anybody having any issues with hopping to a second park. There is a possibility that they could be at capacity, so that they wouldn't allow you to hop. But I've not personally experienced any customer coming back to me and telling me that they were unable to hop after 2 p.m. So that I don't foresee that being an issue, but just a warning that there is a possibility that if a park is at capacity, you may not be able to hop over. And then a park hopper plus option basically kind of doubles your stay. So if you have a 4-day hopper and you want to add that plus option on, it allows you to get 4 additional days for the options listed below there. So the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex, the 2 water parks, which are Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon. Usually one of them is closed during the winter for refurbishment, just so you know. So if you're going during the winter timeframe, there's likely only to be 1 open, but you can choose that as one of your options for those 4 additional days. Your Oak Trails Golf Course green fees would be covered. And there are also 2 miniature golf courses that you can you choose as an option. So how that works is if you have a 4-day park hopper plus, you get 4 days for the main parks, 4 additional days to do one of those options per day on those 4 additional days. You can double up your day though. So if you want to go to Epcot and then halfway through your day, you want to go to a water park, you can do that. You hop over to the water park. That just takes one of your additional days. So now because you doubled up your day, you only have 3 left. You don't have, you don't still have 4 because you used one of those admissions. You just use it on the same day you went to a main park. And then we also have salute tickets available, which are eligible only to service members. And I'll cover that here in a second. So one other popular feature at Disney is magic bands. They used to give these away for free for resort guests, but they stopped that a couple years ago. Magic bands start at $19.99 per person. You can purchase them through the website. And they'll mail them to you in advance. Over here on the right-hand side is I mentioned that you can use your phone for a lot of things. So like your park admission, so it's like your ticket. It does your Lightning Lane, your Genie Plus services, um, all of that. So you can use your Magic Bands to unlock your hotel room, which the mobile app will not. And then there are other services and features. Um, so definitely something that's kind of a nice to have, but it's not a requirement to use at the resorts or in the parks. But it's kind of a nice to have if you want that feature. Other offerings at Disney World, as I mentioned, Typhoon Lagoon, Blizzard Beach, other water parks. I actually think that Blizzard Beach is open currently because I think they had that one. Sorry, I missed updating this slide, but I believe Blizzard Beach is open and Typhoon Lagoon I think is currently under refurbishment, but I will double check that whenever, if you guys have questions about that. But their app will also update you and let you know which parks are open. So, all right, so I have a brief a brief trip here for a family. This is 2 adults, 2 children, ages 12 and 7 that want to go to Disney. And we're gonna price out a 7-night vacation for them. It's gonna be, like I said, a family of 4, 2 adults, 2 children, ages 7 and 12. And just so you know, for Disney tickets, children ages 3 to 9 are child price, 2 and under is free. Anyone 10 and over is considered an adult ticket. They will be arriving May 6th, 2023 and checking out on May 13th, 2023. They're running a 5-day park hopper. Dining plans still are currently not available. However, they do have a dining card option now that you can purchase, but I'm not going to include that. It's a new feature. It'll save you a few dollars, approximately 10 to 15% on it's a quick service dining card. So if you want quick service, just check with me and I can let you know about that service. And then memory maker and travel protection are additional. They will not be included in the quote on the next page. However, travel protection is $82.50 per adult, $6 per child. And that would obviously have travel insurance basically for like lost luggage, that kind of stuff, but also allows you to have the ability to cancel your vacation based on covered reasons. They no longer have extra magic hours, so there is 30 minutes of early access in the morning for the resort guests, or late evening access given to deluxe resort guests on select nights. Memory Maker is also a feature that I mentioned earlier. It's photos, videos that you can get. It costs $199, but for the military, it's $98. And that can be purchased at the gate at the time that you activate your tickets. So here's an idea of pricing for what it would be for just the general public, what it would be for a DoD employee, and what it would be for military members. So I did one at each category. So All Star Movies is a value property. Port Orleans Riverside is a moderate property, and Wilderness Lodge is a deluxe property. So as you can see, there are significant savings by being even a DoD employee versus the general public. Now, this general public price, I literally did this pricing this morning, is a 25% discount, up to a 25% discount that they're offering for a spring and summer offer. So even with that up to 25% discount, even DoD employees and military are still getting way better pricing. Standard pricing would even be higher than this for the general public. So as you can see, $2,700, $2778.08 for tickets and resort for that family of 4. For DoD employee, if they were a DoD employee, it would be $35.77.33 at the All-Star Movies Resort in a preferred room, and the discounted package price is $4,254. So each level is going to save you about $800 to $700 depending on which category you fall into. Preferred room is something that I do prefer for customers, because that means that the room is closer to the main lobby and the main pool, and also closer to transportation. So you don't have to walk as far to get to your room, and then also to get to the main services that are on the resort. And then like the standard view room at Riverside, there's multiple different options. There's pool view rooms, river view rooms, but that was the only one that was available for the military rate. So I just did a comparison across the board. And then you'll see the courtyard view and nature view for Wilderness Lodge. Their pricing is usually pretty similar. If I remember correctly, I believe a courtyard view would actually be less than a nature view. So it would be, it's just wasn't available for the general public rate. So I just wanted to give you something to compare to, but those two categories are not too far apart in pricing to still give you a fair comparison. All right. So as I mentioned, military members, if you're active, retired, or 100% disabled, active includes reservists and National Guard, as long as you're not inactive. If you're doing your monthly drills, you do qualify for these tickets as long as you have your active military ID card. And our pricing for these 4-day hoppers is $347, $377 for the 4-day hopper plus, $367 for the 5-day hopper, and $397 for the 5-day hopper plus. Here's where I mentioned Disneyland does allow the 3 and 4-day to come with the Genie Plus option. So the 3-day hopper is $244. 3-day hopper with Genie Plus is $319. And then that equates to the $75, the $25 per day. Just know that, like I said, there's variable pricing with that ticket. So as the price goes up, for other guests, the price could be higher than that $75 for the Genie Plus option, but they keep it right at the $25 mark for the military. 4-day hopper is $279, and then the 4-day hopper with Genie Plus is $379. This is just a brief statement about the 2023 military promo that's available to military and DoD employees. So if you have any resorts that you want to book, check with me and I will get pricing for you, and hopefully we'll get you some good discounts for the military promotion. It is good for January 1st through December 15th of 2023. There are some, I've seen some blackout dates, but honestly, it's more so certain resorts that have blocked out. The Grand Floridian, the campsites are not available for the military discount. Disney's Pop Century and Caribbean Beach resorts are also not available. Sorry, the villas at Disney's Grand Floridian. The reason why that Pop Century and Caribbean Beach are not is because they have the Skyliner that goes to them. So it's another service that allows you to go from the resort to the parks. And it's basically kind of like a ski lift types, you know, like it's going to be more of a pod, but they carry you to the park. So people like that option as opposed to taking a bus, and it is another option. So that's why they have taken that away for military, just because there's already a big demand for that. So, and then we're going to move on to the Disneyland features. So Disneyland has 2 parks and 3 hotels. Currently, the 2 parks are Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure. Disneyland is the original, the OG, the original park for Disney, and it opened before Disney World did. So that was the main focus for Disney. And years later, they added on the California's Adventure Park. The three resorts at Disney are Disneyland, are Disney's Grand Floridian Hotel and Spa, the Disneyland Hotel, and Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel, which is soon to be called Pixar Place Hotel. They're doing massive renovations to that hotel currently, so that will soon be changing over to the Pixar Place Hotel. Obviously, it'll have Pixar features in that resort or in that hotel. The other attraction that they have there is what they call Downtown Disney District, which is the same concept as the Disney Springs. New for 2023 at Disneyland is Disneyland Resorts Disney 100 celebration kicks off on the 27th of January. That's in celebration of Disney being the Disney brand being open for 100 years. So you'll see some of this coming into Disney World as well, but right now they're kicking it off at Disneyland on January 27th. A Disney Vacation Club member lounge will open at Disneyland in 2023. Adventureland Treehouse will open in 2023 with a new theme. It's going to be called Adventure Treehouse. Before it was Swiss Family Robinson, and before that it was even another name. So it has new theming and it's reopening in 2023. Magic Happens Returns Parade is opening on February 24th. Mickey's Toontown is reopening. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway opens is in the reimagined Mickey's Toontown. That'll be later this year as well. World of Color 1 will debut at Disney's California Adventure Park January 27th. That's their evening show, similar to Fantasmic at the California Adventure Park. So they have a new theming for their show. As you can see, it kind of goes along with the Disney 100 celebration on the 27th. And then the Wondrous Journeys lights up Disneyland Park on January 27th as well. So the new nighttime show will be opening on January 27th at Disneyland. So that's all I have for Disneyland, but it's very similar to Disney World, and they have many of the same attractions. It's just on a smaller scale. Disneyland is more landlocked than Disney World, so not as many features that you'll have there, but definitely a destination to go see as it is the original Disney park. So I'm going to touch briefly again on Disney Cruise Lines. It was established in 1995. I know there's at least 2 more new ships coming, and probably more than that, but the 2 that have been announced, Disney Wish just began sailing in July of 2022. That's their newest and largest ship. As you can see there, 5,555 passengers, 15 decks, and length of 1,119 feet. Disney's Fantasy, Disney Dream, Disney Wonder, and Disney Magic are their other ships that they've had out for a few years. If you want any information about Disney Cruise Line, we do have some brochures down here in our office, and I can help you book them as well. They do have military discounts, but they're usually just a couple months out. They'll put out new Disney military rates, but in general, there's not really a lot of discounts because, as you can see, there's only 5 ships, so there's a lot of demand for those. And they do have a lot of themed cruises, and like they have Star Wars themed cruises and things like that. So if the Halloween themed cruises, so if you want to go have Disney at sea, definitely check out Disney Cruise Line. Some of the unique features for Disney cruises is that they have fireworks at sea. No other cruise line has that. There are no casinos on Disney cruise ships. They do have rotational dining, so you can eat at a different restaurant each night. They have unlimited soda included with your cruise ticket. They have a royal welcome, so the last name of each guest is announced as they welcome you on board. And if Disney has a movie that's premiering on land, they're also premiering it on sea in their theaters on the cruise ships. And one of the other features for Disney is Adventures by Disney. It is their tour and travel company. So if you are familiar with other tour companies that offer international tours, Disney also offers some amazing opportunities to see destinations across the globe. So North America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, Central and South America. They have river cruises. Adventure by Disney is ready to take you there. So definitely, it's really a premium experience. Awesome tour guides. Definitely VIP treatment throughout your vacation. So if you are interested in Adventure by Disney package, definitely reach out to me and I can get some quotes and information for you. And I do have some guides here as well for the Adventures by Disney. And last but not least is Aulani, the Hawaiian resort. It's on the island of Oahu. A beautiful resort that they built. I want to say about 7 years ago now, and just absolutely amazing Disney experience here as well. And they do have a special military discount, and DoD employees can take advantage of up to 30% off Sunday through Thursday nights on select rooms for most nights from January 5th through March 30th of this year. They run different promotions throughout the year. So if you are interested in going to Hawaii and want that touch of Disney, Aulani Resort would be your choice there. Just again, reach out to me and I can get you some information and get you some quotes and hopefully get you a trip booked to the beautiful islands in Hawaii. And now we have time here for some questions. Does anybody have any questions? If you want to put them in the chat, that would be great. All right. You're welcome, Jose. One question I will mention that I do get often with Disney is when is the best time to go? And really, like I said, with all of the different events and things that they have going on, it's hard to like always gauge when it won't be as busy or like it's just really it's hit or miss. I'm always surprised sometimes when I call in and I'm thinking, yeah, that would be a good time to go. There's not usually a lot of people there, and then I find out that there's a race going on or a marathon or some other event. I get a lot of families that are going to Disney because their kids are playing in parades and bands and things like that, or they're going down for sporting events at ESPN Wide World of Sports. And so you just never know when those events will be happening. But overall, I definitely, if you really want to avoid crowds, I recommend avoiding spring break and Christmas time frame. And then also any holiday weekend is going to be usually a more busy time. And slower periods tend to be September, which is obviously everyone's going back to school, or even late October or late August, because it's just hot in August. So it's not an ideal time to be in Florida for Disney World. And then I also usually recommend like January, February timeframe because it's just most people again are back after the holidays or are back in school, are back to work. And right now, it also doesn't appear to be, as you can see, the calendar was all green, as busy. Partially likely because of COVID. The Southern Hemisphere, this is their summer, so a lot of them come up during the January, February timeframe. But I'm assuming that that's not happening quite as much with COVID. They probably aren't traveling like they did pre-COVID. So that would be just be my guess as another reason why this time frame isn't as busy as it normally would be. So that's another recommendation, another time to go. Halloween time is very popular with um, and over the Christmas time frame as well. The first couple weeks of December usually aren't too bad. Obviously, before the holiday, a lot of people don't like to travel, so that's another time that's a little slower. But because of the Halloween celebrations and things like that, those can be quite popular times to be there. So, anybody else have any questions? Feel free to stop down. I do have my sorry, let me get off this. My contact information here on this last slide. You can email me. Currently, Angel's out of the office, but she'll be back here soon. And so you can call our office at 269-961-5084. And if you have any questions or want to get a quote on a package, definitely stop down and I'll give you as much insight into your package as possible. You're welcome, Donna. Thanks for joining us today. All right, we're 1 minute past 12:30. So if I don't see any more questions, we're gonna end here. And like I said, definitely reach out and thank you again for joining us today.